Hey all, I'm here trying to look at an Infiniti M37 to buy. I'm trying to buy this for business, and I figured that it's about time I made a buying guide for all of you guys. I've made some video, covered some stuff earlier, but this is going to be where the rubber meets the road, as I say. It's an M37X, which is exactly what came for. Looks good. And one thing I usually do is I don't talk prices until I've done test drive. Well, call it a test drive, but what I'm doing is actually just checking it out first. So even before driving, just look at it, make sure everything looks good. Body-wise, the panels look like they match. I've caught some things that I did not catch from the camera, from the photos that were posted online. Here, see a little bit of rust. It's a car that was mainly in Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin. You can come to see it right here too. Very subtle, but it's there. Guess someone tried to correct that. Alright, so even before starting the car, don't jump in a car and go all crazy. I'm going to unlock, make sure it unlocks. Okay. Since I know this, I usually try this feature. Make sure it works the way it should. I'm sure it does. Unfortunately, if you want to go up, you have to do the lock. Unless I just unlock it again. Yeah, I thought I had it. Did not go back up. Interesting. Oh well. This is why you do these tests. Might be a big deal, might not. But hey, at least I know the key does the door. I'll come here. Make sure the key does the trunk as well. Does it matter? Yeah, kinda. If you're caught stranded, if your battery died, you need it to open, you need to know that it matches and it works. Man, such a struggle. I guess it's just not been used often. It's not turning. This is not the original key for this trunk. Okay, so with that knowledge, just keep in mind that if you ever needed to open, if you're ever in an emergency, that it's not going to open your trunk if your battery died. So figure a way to solve that. I'm looking at the doors physically. Shut it. A little bit of a bounce, but it does shut well. Here, I need to unlock. Okay, I'm looking in the inside panels. Looks like everything matches. No crazy damage. It's got a little bit of a bounce. It's crazy. These cars are usually a little more refined than that. Okay. All matching. Guess it was waxed at some point. There you go. No bounce on there. Something's up with the right side. With the left side, sorry. It seems to come off. Look at the door. Thing looks good. A little bit of a bounce, but not as bad as the other side. Guess maybe just something like kids. So body-wise looks okay. I'm going to look at the trunk. Popped and open the hood as well. For the trunk. Okay. Look at the body lines. Make sure it looks okay. No signs of repair there. Not here either. A little bit of rust. That does happen though. Same thing here, swollen. Pull this up, see what the rear looks like. Looking for wetness as well. Tells you if you get issues with your sunroof drains, nice and dry. Okay, trunk is good. Spare wheel exists. Looks like it's been used, which is okay. That's what they do. Okay. No serious rust inside here. No signs of repair. That's fine. Then I popped the hood, so I'm going to check out the hood. Things you cannot see in pictures sometimes you can see them immediately. Usually look at pictures with cars from Michigan, you can see rusty bolts here and here. This one's not too bad. I feel like oiled though a little bit, but you can kind of see a little bit of rust in different areas. I remember catching this from the pictures. They did not see that. Yeah, interesting stuff. See rust in interesting areas. All right, so I did ask them to leave the car cold, dead cold, so I can check the oil. If it's been sitting for a while, I don't even need to wipe it. You can see the level, it's fine. The V6s are not really known for consuming oil, but that might give you an idea if you've got an oil leak, for example. Along with the oil, I usually look at the reservoir level, and I think there's trouble or something to be alarmed about. Why is a coolant above maximum? Okay, keep an eye on that. Look at it here though. Wow, it's not been opened in a long time. Which I guess in a way it's kind of good in that, not that they've been playing any funny stuff. Oh yeah, this car is questionable. Again, this is why I buy cars all the way cold. And I mentioned this in my other video that, or rather at least when I spoke to him, he told me he didn't have the, it's dry in here. Yeah, something's up with this. As I said, I caught it over here. Reservoir over full, filler neck empty. Yep, got issues. This does not help the case either. So again, there's a reason to check stuff cold. If this were hot, if you meet somebody in the middle, you know, in a public place, which is great, but they've driven to get there, the radiator cap is too hot to touch. But I'm gonna ask, hey, I absolutely need to do this. So either I hope you're willing to wait in long enough for it to cool down so I can check, or let's just meet somewhere else. And I do understand that people don't want to meet you at home or anything like that, which I respect that. It's that if I'm gonna be spending money with you, I just need to take care of myself, you know? How hard it is to put it back on. Should have done it right. Close to it. Try to wipe it up a little bit. Yeah. Maybe these crystals are what's keeping it from closing properly. Cleaned it up a little bit. I'm gonna try again. Let me do it upside down. There you go. That's more like it. All right. So as I said, just to be aware, just watch. Not a big concern per se. Can find a cap. Reservoir a little lower than usual. cannot see any leaks on the hoses though. Let's look at this, kind of gives you an idea of how it was maintained. See, I don't think the maintenance or the intention is bad in itself, but sometimes bad things happen to cars. So yeah, I mean, the air filter could be newer, but I'm not taking this as a way to blame somebody, you know. But this car looks to have a coolant problem. If I were testing it in the winter, it would be great because you can test the heat. Again, just looking. At least they're not wet with oil or anything. Alright, look at the belts, just what they look like. The pulleys. See any leaks? The water pump is usually somewhere around here in these engines, I believe. I don't see any evidence of leaks. It looks dry down there, that tray. I believe the bleeder hose is usually somewhere back here, out on this side. I'm more familiar with the V8s. Yeah, right here. Looking for the hose. I don't see where the bleeder is for the V6, but no leaks yet. Hood is holding itself up. That's good. Another thing that I usually try to keep an eye on is when I'm here, if you see any white spray over here, I don't know if this qualifies or not. Right in line with this, you can tell that it overflowed at some point, but I don't see that. Look at the glass. I guess I could have looked at this when looking at the doors. The bug is right here, which means it's factory, it's not been replaced. Replacement bugs are usually on the other side. But I'm looking for the VIN number. I'm about to go inside the car right now to verify. Okay, there's a VIN. I don't know if VIN number is redundant, but VIN 64837 370 648. Okay. Just kind of verify the VIN, match the VIN, match it with the door. 370 648. All right, all good. All right, so now, well, I could check things like transmission fluid, but in these cars, you don't get a dipstick, so there's nothing to check there. Just go ahead and start it. Before starting it, though, what I'm gonna do is this. Push the key fob, first level, turn off the radio. Okay, navigation, push it to the second level, and I'm watching for check engine light, and there it is. Something I learned with AC is blowing cold. Let's turn that off. Sorry, it's been a while. Off. You have to go to climate. Nope, you don't. You can actually turn it off. Yeah, right here. Glare, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's good. 148,795. That's the other thing I wanted to check. Verify mileage, right? Picture was taken months ago. So, okay. All right. So you've realized so far, my test of these vehicles, I've not even started it at all, right? Just making sure everything is what it's supposed to be. I was looking at glass, now I'm looking over here as well. Making sure everything's good. I can push that, that's pretty easy, not a bad deal. Check this side as well. I checked the glasses, check the glass from the outside, check for cracks, chips and things like that. That looks legit. And I think I'm about to do power tests. And when you do power tests, it's just best to go ahead and start the vehicle. All right, have it running. So now I can do this. Sounds good. Sounds really good for a V6. It's like it's got an exhaust leak. Okay, after turning it on, make sure that every light goes off. TPMS light stayed on, so that needs to be addressed. And I take this chance to test out these other features. Okay, from the master switch, they're all working, which is good. How about from their respective doors? The down always works. The up might need to be held. Yeah, I'd say at least 13 miles ago, either someone reset everything to reset including the check engine light, or I'm looking for the trip, or the battery died and they jumped it. So I also look at the trip odometer, so it tells me about 13.6 miles ago is when it was reset. And when they did that, they did not reset the windows. It's crazy what you can learn from the status of a car. So right now, just letting it run, no revs or anything. Watch this coolant gauge as well, temperature gauge. Work the, I haven't checked the other window, I know that. Oh, interesting, this one doesn't seem to need a reset. That's fine. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to... Okay, everything works. So, you guys remember I mentioned earlier, well, no, not in this video, in a different video, I mentioned that this is a deluxe touring package, and that's why it's got this color trim, that wood trim. The seats have this quilted pattern. They're nice and soft, by the way. So another thing that they usually have is the upholstery, is this suede-like. It's pretty cool. And I'm doing this to check because Nissan always has issues with their sunroof drains. So I'm just looking for water patches. But this one looks clear. Looking at the back as well. It's got a sunshade, which I could push down, or I could just kind of put it in reverse. When you put it in reverse, it drops. That's the automatic setting. It did not go down. Interesting. Now, it's possible that someone changed the setting, or it's not working. It's not working. Right? We catch these things like that. All right, otherwise this is working well. I can see the vehicle behind me. I can't fully test the reverse features or the transmission because I need to get going, but I'll check the hood. The hood still popped. You notice when I put it in reverse, my side mirror is moved. That's kind of the default setting. You can change that setting so that when you put it in reverse, they do not tilt. But I'm going to test the way they work. Yep. Up, down, does that. Okay. Let's check the other side. Out, in. It's kind of slow, but you can assume, as you can imagine, it's been sitting in the same position for a while. So yeah, they do move, so that's good. Do they fold? This one right here. Yes, they do. Do they unfold? Yes, they do. Okay, that's good. So I'd say features-wise, everything seems to work well. While inside here, I want to test something else on functionality. To the seats. The leather looks okay. No rips. It's old. 150 miles. 50,000 miles, as you can see. Okay. Electronically, do they work? Yep. Yep. Lumbar support. I can see it swelling and moving back. This seat works. Coming in here, listening in. Oh, the drivetrain is nice and smooth. And usually expect the power steering fluid to jump around a little bit. It's lower than it's supposed to be. And as I said, I don't see the leaks up here. Maybe they're much lower. Could be the steering rack. All right, we'll check it out. Check out this seat over here. M's give you full power, so that's good. Including lumbar support for the passenger. Isn't that nice? White stuff in there. Okay. Is this oil or water? Guess it's Emerald. Some sort. There's no power stuff in the rear, so no point in doing that. Opens well. Trunk settings. Okay, electronically things looks like it passes. As I said, I haven't caught anything yet. Sounds quiet. The exhaust sounded a little loud initially, but it's fine. To adjust this, I can just remove it myself. Steering wheel, you did see it moving when I started, so that's legit. Okay, horn works. I'm going to try the lights. Lights on. Turn signals. Those are hazards, but they do work the same way. Yep, they're on. You can see the green ring. Turn the fog lights on. Fog light on. Fog light on. Yep. It's fine. Pretty much done with the engine bay, honestly. But I'll check it after a drive, after a short drive. Hear that? Interesting. But it holds. Got it. Alright. Passes, lights, checking the rear lights. Seem to work. Seem to work. Okay, I'll turn the lights off. Okay, at least here it is. These work. That's good. I'll try to look behind me when I'm reverse backing up, see if the lights come on. Alright. Now, talking of lights, there's something else that can catch you as an owner. The dome lights. So you've seen those lights came on, right? When I opened the door. See those come on? See that comes on? How about these? Why did these not come on? Are they door based? Should they be on like that? No, see, that turns everything off. That turns off. They should have come on at some point. Pushing it in turns it off. Pushing it out allows it to come on automatically. So the fact that these did not open with the door, well, the rear ones did, is something to look out for. Why? Because what happens is that sometimes people try to do upgrades. They do LED upgrades and end up burning not just the bulb. Actually, the bulb works just fine. They end up messing the BCM, the body control module, and that requires some extensive work. Sometimes, I think the most obvious one people notice is that, hey, my interior lights are not working. What's going on? So there's a possibility that these bulbs, just those two, are dead, but it might need a little more work to really know what's going on. All right, so just something to keep in mind, because so neither one of them is working, and this turns everything on. This is global on. Well, it's wow, a little sticky. They turned on in the back, but these are still not on. So that's an odd thing, but as I said, something just kind of take note. All right, now that we're here, let's go ahead and test these features. Audio is like number one. Don't want to do music and end up getting my stuff my video kind of messed with. So let's go to FMAM. You know what? I'll just do it. It's fine. And what I usually do here is go ahead and test all the speakers. Go to setting, audio, not the bass. I want a fader, so fade it all to the front. Balance it all the way to the right side, all the way to the left side. Jump to the back, fade it all to the rear. Left side on the balance, right side, and again, sounds like it's coming from there. Balance it out. Then do audio pilot, surround effect. It's going to be all the way there. Want something without music. We'll take that because I don't want YouTube to stop my music audio. I want to make sure my speakers are working. These ones right here. Can barely hear them, and it takes the right type of audio. It's fine. I'll turn it off. Kind of baking in here, but before turning, I also want to turn the HVAC on. Heating, ventilation, air conditioning. I'm going to go for, well, or cooling, air conditioning and cooling. Turn on the seats. You should hear fan. No, this is not working. Interesting. Took a while. You see the light? It's like it turns off at the very end, which is odd. But you can hear the fan running, right? And on heat. I might not be able to prove that it fully heats or cools, but can you hear the fan running? Turn it all the way to cool. People usually face more problems in the winter because you try to heat it and it's like, oh, it just didn't work. I can feel the cooling effect already. It works better when you have cold air already, and it heats better when you have hot air already, because it uses the air in the car, passes it over a heating/cooling element, depending on what you want it to do, and the number is just the fan speed. The color is the heat versus cold, heating versus cooling. The number is the fan speed. Okay, so if you already have cold air running in the car, it helps, right? But yeah, I can feel it, and it's running long enough, so let it be. If they stop and start blinking, then we get a problem. Now let's go ahead and turn on the system. It's been set to minimum, which is crazy. But it's a good place to check it, to test it out first, right? Okay, so it's blowing cold-ish, cool. Not too bad. Smelling. The filter would definitely need to be replaced. Interesting. Now, oh well, it's not open, that's why. Open them all. That's open. There's vents in the back as well. You know, sometimes I learned this in house shopping. An open door isn't always an inviting feature, or it's not always meant for inviting. Sometimes it's hiding. So when you see this armrest down, maybe it could be hiding damage there. But nope, this one is fine, and that's fine. Okay. Open this armrest, letting it cool. Looks okay. USB here. One thing I usually try to test, and I will test it out, especially since I feel like the BCM is not working like it should. is the power outlets, right? One, make sure I still have the cup holders in there, still there. Sometimes people remove that insert. Ooh, it's peeling. Yeah, be careful with all the chrome trim in your vehicle, by the way. At some point it ends up peeling and cut your fingers. Yep, they removed the cigarette lighter catch thing. It's fine. Is the light on? No, it's not on right now until I turn on the headlights. That's not a big deal. Now, that reminds me that sometimes these things work funky, work with headlights, but no, it's fine. It's getting kind of cool. It's not freezing cold. It's cooling though, you know. Let's mix it up a little bit. Turn it all the way to maximum heat. It's barely gonna blow because it's gonna say it's hot enough. What are you making us do? 90's the most. I wanted heat equally from both sides. The heated seats are still on, so that's good. Can trust that they work well. It's blowing from the top. Let me force it to blow from. No, I meant to do auto on that. I'm trying to pick. Oh, here. I'm trying to pick where it blows. Okay, both face and feet, so I can feel it here. Now, it's very important with these vehicles that you check that it's blowing heat from both sides. Reason being, sometimes they get a problem internally. It could be the blend doors, or it could be something worse, where one side blows hot, the other side blows cold. And especially since we have that coolant, little drama going on with the coolant, it's very important that I've checked it out. So it seems to be fine right now. That's fine, I'll let it be. I'll take it to 73, normal temperature. And about now, I'll be ready to go for a test drive. But two things I'd like to check. So again, you've noticed so far, I've not rushed to drive this vehicle yet. That hasn't happened. I'm gonna look at the tires. 2015, 51st week of 2015. Tread doesn't look too bad. That's okay. 245, 50, 18, yep. OEM size. Here, yep, OEM size. All lug nuts are there. I bet these are gonna be fun to remove. You guys have seen the video I made on lug nuts, right? All lug nuts are there. You can tell that this one is already getting damaged. Brakes will need replacement at some point. Yep. Yeah, definitely needs replacement. This side here, you can tell this tire is already so old. Right brand, it's matching. Correct tire size. This is an old tire. Same 51st week of 2015. If you know how to read tire codes. Maybe that's the one that may force them to use a spare tire, you know, because if it runs flat and you keep riding on it, could have caused damage to the side. Because you can see this one is old, yeah, but it doesn't look like that one. Okay, tire size matches. 51st week of 2015. These are old tires that need to be replaced. Oh, look at that. My goodness, this one's horrible. This is horrible. This brake is really bad. I forgot to even check the brake fluid level. This side, brakes don't look good at all. The sound seems to be coming from here. Let me check under the car. Yep, some kind of repair. Do you see the repair on that side? Yeah, exhaust leaks. You can hear it. You can hear the hiss. Now, there are a few ways to look at this. Well, let me get my charger. just went to get a charger to see how the BCM is working. So usually I do these things by myself, but I'm doing it for video, so it's taking a little longer. Did it say charging? It did not. This one lights up whenever it's charging, and nope, no power. Okay. Let's try it here. You want to know if you do a long drive home, are you going to be able to? No power. Okay. Is that a deal breaker? Maybe, maybe not. Let's try this. So you know there was audio playing. Let's plug this in. Because usually what it tells you is, hey, oh, there you go. The USB is working. So that part is working. Yeah, interesting. Is this where it becomes a deal breaker? I don't know. No. So now I have time to go look at it. Now I have to explain something about the way my process so far. Some people might look at this as being so picky. Fair enough. Before I spend $5,000, $3,000, $1,000, I need to know what I'm getting into. I do understand that sometimes if we're meeting somewhere, you don't have 1 hour for some guy to poke through your car and lowball you. I do understand that. That's one of the reasons I like to meet people somewhere they're comfortable. I go for their comfort as well as I'm considering myself. If it's a $1,000 vehicle that they just posted yesterday, I'm not going to waste your time. You'll find a buyer for it. If you got this one, 15,000 is what they're asking for. They've set on it for, it said what, 70 something days. That means we're not in a hurry, and I met you at the shop, so please give me time to look at it. If I'm meeting you, even if you posted yesterday and it's a $50,000 vehicle, and it's not like super cheap, if it's 50,000 fair price, I usually ask, do you have time for me to look at this? If you say no, then well enough, and I can usually tell you, hey, I'm gonna need about an hour, so here we go. Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Have you driven the car yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay. I'm just letting you know,
yet.
I do plan on leaving around 2 o'clock.
Sounds good.
So
yeah,
I just didn't want to make sure you had time to go drive.
Yeah, the drive is actually the shortest part of all
fine.
this.
Yeah, and I didn't want to rush. I just wanted to make sure you're aware. But
thank you, I appreciate it, sir.
Problem,
all right. Yep. He told me he owns an M56, so he'll probably see this video on if he watches other videos, he'll probably see this on YouTube. So I'm looking there to see if I can see the reverse light. Yep, I can see it on that side. I don't see the other side, but it's fine, it's understandable. Oh, there you go. I should just look there. All right, now I'm about to drive it. Now for driving, I'm checking for, I need to turn this down low. I'm listening for sounds. It's rattling the exhaust, no surprise. Go slow, real slow here. Whoa, very gentle, because it almost didn't catch. Almost did not. Okay. It did not do the click, the axle click that we're used to from Nissan. Pulls nice and strong. That's good. I'm gonna need to do this. I'm gonna slow down and stop. Whoa, almost all the way to the floor. So it's a dangerous one too. Whoa, yeah, the brakes need help. Prime candidate for the upgrade, right? Usually you can hear the click even with the windows up if there's that click problem, right? So put it in neutral. Drive. Go. Whoa. Whoa. Did you see that? I mashed the gas and the thing just for a second there did not move at all. Yeah. We got stuff going on. This is not the kind of thing you buy and you just jump into to make your 1,000 mile trip back home. Whoa, it does need help. The steering effort, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Suspension feels okay, but it's got 48,000 miles, so it's either bad or it just needs service at some point, attention at some point. The brakes are not good, I'll tell you that. Let me try getting the gas again, see what it does. I'll do that in a bit. Is it in sport mode? Yeah. Put it back to standard. Oh, go. Yeah, something's up with this transmission. Something's going on, man. So what I'm gonna do right now is test out the features I was going for. The reason I, bought the vehicle or wanted this one. This is distance control assist, self brakes, but let's turn on cruise control. No matter my speed, I'm looking at the speed of the guy in front of me, right? So cruise control is working, that's good. Lane departure should work. Lane departure is not working. Let's turn on the heated steering wheel. I felt the relay click. It's summer though, so it's kind of tough time to be testing this. Lane departure warning did not seem to catch. I'm gonna sway over the lane. There you go, it did. It's working, it's working. Okay. Alright, so tested most of the things I want to. I can feel the way it goes over. Suspension, I wouldn't be too picky on it. Personally, some other people might. People that maybe are planning to change out the suspension immediately, lower the vehicle, probably don't care, But nice dip. I'll be stopping and kind of gunning it in a bit just to see what it does. It's a little bit over the road. Pirelli Cinturados are pretty good tires, but they're pretty old right now, right? I don't know when they were last changed. Let's go to info. Sometimes people put the maintenance info right here. Other reminder. Over on some things. Oil wasn't terrible looking, but sometimes it's hard to tell from just looking at it. Yeah, interesting vehicle. I'm gonna bust a U over here. Whoa. Oh, the seatbelt tightened as I did this. I slammed my brakes, and it's not like I just emergency slammed the brakes is what got me. It's that the brake, because the brakes don't really actuate well, you have to slam on them. So the sensor senses that, hey, you're trying to brake hard, aren't you? Then it's, grabs the seat belt. Better, but not quite there. Low battery might have just been sitting for a long time. As I'm going at speed, I don't see the mirrors. I did touch them earlier. I was touching the housings to see how they are. The mirrors are not jerking around, so that's good. It's giving me the blind spot warning, and it's gone. The person was zooming. Maybe two other things I might need to check. So these usually have an automatic wiper. Swipes once, but it's gonna stop. I need to find a way to test the wiper, So I do have water, but I'm just gonna use my hand to see if it catches. Sometimes just passing something around enough. Whoa. It's doing a little better as it warms up, but still, man, those brakes are not good. I like that it's steering, you know, when driving, it steers straight. I was gonna say that possibly kept up with the alignment, but what shop do you take your stuff to and doesn't tell you that you need to replace your tires? You know, or at least try to recommend that to you. I don't know. Yeah, but it's good. It's responsive enough. The steering is good. Whoa. Stuttering. It's stuttering right there. This is why you do test drives, guys. Something's off with this car. It jerked a little bit, and there was something going on. Yeah, something's off with this car. Hey, they got other Infinitis there. So what I'm gonna do is park it. And this is why I record almost everything. You can't say, hey, you broke this. Well, I don't think that'll be it. It's just that, you know, what you know about cars. So somebody else might have come and looked at this car and said, yep, it's good. It drives well, and let's just go. So one extra thing I'm gonna do while I'm here. Stumbled. Huh? Do you see that? I'm just driving normally. One, let's test the park brake. Try to drive forward so we don't cause problems. See the nose go up, but the car didn't go anywhere. Yeah, it's fine. Most people don't really use their parking brakes a lot, so it's probably really, really good. So weird stumble going on. So now, finally, now that I've driven it, given it some time to run and all that, now is a good time for me to test this out. I usually don't just jump into the code reader. Some things can be hidden. It's not, and it's also just you work on trust and good faith. It's not like keep stumbling. See, and that only happened after I started driving. Okay. Maintenance indicator light is off. That's good. Read codes. Just in case there's anything. Pending codes. There you go. Bank 1 is lean. Okay, makes sense. There's one. Wasn't me. Stored codes. All right, that's good. So one thing I want to do is this too. It usually has, is it under live or live data? I'm not going to read all of it, but there's one thing that's usually hidden all the way down there that I'd like you to see. Not the trims. No, not those. Runtime in seconds. 1974 seconds runtime. And the maintenance indicator light distance 0. Haven't had an indicator light in a while. That's usually what I clear distance in kilometers, 27 kilometers. And as I said, no need to, this is how long has it been since you last cleared the check engine light. So I'm not going to say that this is suspect in itself. 27 kilometers, convert that, it is right around, okay, man, let's see, convert that. Got to use my phone to convert. 27 kilometers to miles. 16.7 miles. So yeah, that makes sense in that, remember I was reading the trip A and B. So right around that time is when the check engine light was cleared. Now, when you compare 16.7 versus a 17.3 means that it was cleared very recently, all right? The way I read that is that the car had its stuff, it was running, maybe the battery reset or whatever it is, but then within a short time, less than a mile, someone cleared the codes. So codes have been cleared in this car, All right, so I don't need something real fancy. Sometimes it's a matter of analysis, and this might kind of explain my whole process. I don't mean to be too picky. I don't mean to come here and say, hey, you know, because your car is a piece of crap, I'm going to give you this little money. No, sometimes you look at it and say, you know what, this car is not for me. And sometimes you do this thorough inspection so that you can look at it and say, you know what, I might not give you more money than you're asking for, but I'm not going to haggle because you've got brand new tires, brand new brakes, good suspension, all these different things that are a bonus whenever I'm trying to buy a car. For now, this one is looking more and more like a no. I will still do the test because I owe that to you. I owe you guys that. Checking the suspension, not the suspension, the wiper blades. Oh, there's a chip, I missed that. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you have to use water, but pour water there if you got it, and the wipers should swipe, but I think I've seen enough. You can hear changing pitch and all that. Looks good, smells good, but yeah, just suspicious in many different ways. So looks like this vehicle will be a no for us. All right. Okay. If you're really curious to see how that stuff works, the wiper thing, I do have a video that talks about automatic wipers. Meanwhile, I'll return this, and yeah, too many issues going on. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.